Hi, my name's Xavier. If you don't know why I'm making this video, today I will be uploading my first ever screenplay onto Twitter, YouTube, and well as a few other sites. If you looked at the title of the screenplay, well, yeah, it's a doozy. Disney's Army of Darkness. So there's gonna be a lot of questions. This video is going to try to explain just two things. One, how did I come up with this idea? And two, why am I sharing it on the internet? I'll go over how it all started to begin with. So, um, when I was a kid, I obviously Disney's Army of Darkness, Disney Evil Dead. Every kid loves Disney. But what really got me, what I always, I would have loved to seen was crossover stuff. That's why I really loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I loved, House of Mouse, and I especially loved 2D animation, hand drawn stuff. Now, this script, by the way, I wrote this when I was 14 years old. So don't look at this script and think, oh, this 20-year-old guy must be living in fairy tale land. No, this is 14-year-old me. I'll explain how it all, like why I wrote it, but point is that I love Disney, I love the crossover stuff, and I love the hand drawn stuff. Um, Around the 2010s, that's all that stuff wasn't really going on at the time. Hand drawn animation died, and I also feel that I wasn't really into a lot of the modern Disney stuff. I like some of the new stuff, but I like, of course, a lot of people do, the classic stuff. I won't. The thing of Evil Dead is that, like, I mean, I will show. I mean, I got the Evil Dead Groovy collection. I mean, like, I even have the special steelbook of Army of Darkness, which is the big deal. But yeah, so I I think when I was like 12, I started watching those movies, and I just fell in love with the Ash Williams character in that in Sam Raimi's franchise. Now, at the time, that franchise was sort of in a weird limbo. Well, the funny thing was that I'll get into it. I'll get into it. But basically, after the remake, the 2013 film, there wasn't really we didn't know what was going to happen. When I was plotting the idea, this was before they announced the show, and a few months after I finished writing this ridiculous script, the show was announced. So it was kind of weird. It was like I was making this idea up before they were make officially confirming we were going to have more Ash Williams, like, Evil Dead stuff. So I was like, just trying to do something like at the time. So I don't want to go over as to what the script is. Like, if you want to look at the script, you can just look at it. And you can always ask me online on Twitter or YouTube or anything, and ask me details as to specific things. But the point was is that when I was like 13, 14, I had a bonkers idea, and I thought, oh, well, this idea, if you just need a good idea, and people will immediately get into it. And I literally thought I was an idiot. I literally thought that that Disney would actually get into it. You um, so what happened was that I had this idea. Tell my family. What does my family say? Instead of just saying Xavier, that idea just won't work for millions of reasons. They just said, because I just had a plot summary at the time, they said that is not a script. So I was like, okay, we'll get more plot detail. I had a little blurb of plot information, and that was a great idea. They said, nope, that's not enough. You need more. So I was like, okay, I'll get more, and I did a full plot summary. Something that you find on Wikipedia, like a big block of paragraphs and all that stuff. And they were like, now they know more about the details, but they're like, that's not a script still. So I was like, you want a script? I'll get you a script. I made over 100 pages of essentially a script formatted fan fiction. that's just how it is. And even after all that, I think at that point they realized, okay, you tell the truth, it ain't gonna work. And this now segues into the why. Like conclusion of why I made this whole screenplay. I really I want to write, and that's the thing, and that's why I'm also sharing this because even though this screenplay is never gonna be adapted for millions of reasons why, it was that script that motivated me to actually become a writer and get me involved to storytelling. And when you were, and if you skim through the stuff, yeah, it's going to be silly. There's definitely a lot of cringy things. By the way, this is barely changed. I didn't change the script because what is there to change? I'm not going to try to actually release this, and try to make a movie out of it. But the idea was that I like that passion for such a silly idea and to put the extra mile into it put me on the life path of me wanting to get into screenwriting, which as of now is not exactly the easiest path, but only time will tell. Um, so as for why I'm releasing script now in this video on October 15th, if you are Disney fans or have been paying attention, that is the day where the short Once Upon a Studio comes out, which is sort of the thing that I've always been sort of the half of the inspiration that whole script came from, which was I wanted to see Disney characters cross over, 2D animation back, something fun, and we are finally getting that. Granted, it is a short film. It's obviously just meant to be more like um, well, look at all of our history. But that's why I'm releasing it now because I felt things have sort of came full circle. I made the whole screenplay because I was like, we needed more stuff like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that movie magic. Now you could always also say that crossovers and all that stuff is gimmicky and stupid, but it's like I don't know. People, I mean, that's kind of the point. You want to have fun. Some people kind of have lost the idea of fun, but that's fine. And I also wanted to release the script around October, for Halloween and have the little Evil Dead vibe. Which, by the way, the franchise is, I would say it was a bit of a, it's always a weird franchise when it comes to how well it does. It's been very up and it has its ups and downs. When I was writing that script, I thought we were never going to see the Ash character again. Even when the 2013 film never carried over, I had the feeling we weren't going to see him again, because like I didn't get the vibe from Sam Raimi, I didn't get the vibe from Fede Alvarez or even Bruce Campbell about we're doing this, we're going to do a sequel, and it's going to do to the 2013 film, we're actually going to make it happen. Even when I was 14, I had doubts, which clearly were correct when the show essentially removed everything from the 2013 film, which I love the show, and then the show got canceled and everything. The movie, which I thought was okay, but that's the thing. I love that Ash Williams character. Obviously, if the script, if the if the let's say if an imaginary world where the film actually made would have released my silly Army of Darkness Disney idea. Obviously, Bruce Campbell would have probably played the character, which I'm also curious if I don't think he will see it, but if Bruce does see it, I'm very curious to hear what he thinks of my crazy, insane idea. And at the end of the day, this is why I'm doing all this. I want to share my script that will never be made. That, by the way, does not correlate to all the other screenplays I've written in my personal downtime. Like my stuff that I've been writing ever since that is far more simplistic, small scale, original. This was an insane idea that got me into what I wanted to do, which was to write. But I, I don't even care if I ever do manage to get things published. I just want to, you know, get into that that path. Um, and if it wasn't for this idea and how my family never just said no to stop doing what you're doing and be realistic, I wouldn't be in the path that if life I'm in right now, which we'll see how everything will pay off. If I ever do get some of my work published, like I said, it's not gonna be like this. I think, and I feel that and that's why I was always afraid of sharing um, my this idea. And to be fair, I'm not like I don't want to talk too much about my ideas in general because I don't want people to steal my ideas, and because I feel that they're small scale, they're original enough that no one's going to that I feel people can take advantage of, and that's why I usually don't like sharing my screenplays much. I'm only sharing this because I know no one can make it. Like you can't. It is too ridiculous to make, and I'm only sharing it because I want to show that when I was 14, I I had, even if you look at the screenplay and like it's not good, that's not good. I had some good ideas though. I had a creative mindset on how to make things work. Um, Again, you can always ask me on Twitter, on YouTube, or anything about you know my more details about how I thought about this and what how why things were written the way they were. But I I will appreciate this little script for how insane it is, for putting me for making me get into screenplay, and I want to share it with you today. And that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm hoping that no one thinks that because I wrote that, all of my other stuff is gonna um, be like other weird crossover stuff or anything. I've literally written, aside from that, all of my stuff is original, Canadian like type of stories and um, more like something that you can make realistically, not like this. Um, and I hope that people can see through that. I don't want people to just you know hate and think that, oh, because you made this, you're you're just a dumb person. Something that doesn't something to put me down, which is like I won't be put down because that was me when I was 14, being way too ridiculous with their ideas, but it molded me into what I want to do for my for work. Um, so that's about it. If Again, if you want any questions, just let me know. And I hope and I appreciate anyone who has stuck to the end of the video. And I hope you enjoyed my ridiculous script. Thank you.